The following is a Shaw Public Affairs presentation.
Constituency Report is produced as a public service by members of the BC Legislature through the facilities of ShawTV.
Every British Columbian should be a part of our province's future because everyone in every community matters. That's why we're reaching out to you. I'm Carol James, and this is Constituency Report.
Hello and welcome to Constituency Report on ShawTV. My name is Edward May, and with us in the studio today is Cathy Corrigan, New Democrat MLA for Burnaby Deer Lake and official opposition critic for the Olympics and Act Now BC. Welcome, Cathy.
Thank you very much, Edward.
Let's start with the Olympics.
Sure, sounds great.
The Paralympics are just about to start, and the other Olympics has already ended. What were your thoughts on how it went?
Well, I think it was wonderful. It was a great bringing together of the people of, particularly of the Lower Mainland, and I think we made great hosts to people from around the world, around the province. I was certainly downtown a lot. Went to the closing ceremonies, which was lots of fun, and went to some of the free events downtown as well. And the Paralympics are coming up. They'll have happened by the time people see this. And I'm going to be going to one of the semifinal sledge hockey games. So I think we demonstrated just how welcoming and how friendly and how great people are in this province. And I was really, really pleased with the way people behaved. And I've thought about, you know, why it is that we're perceived as so friendly. And I think part of it is that we are a people that are concerned about each other, and we, you know, we believe in public services and that we should look after each other. So I think all of that sort of caring mentality that we have about each other goes a long way to making us very friendly to the rest of the world. So it was a great success. I have to give a lot of credit to everyone involved, particularly the volunteers. So it was lots of fun, and I really enjoyed the Olympics. I thought about you know, what was the most memorable moment, and I know everybody, the hockey game was great. I was downtown waiting to go into the closing ceremonies, and that was really exciting to be on the streets with thousands of other people watching on a big screen. But to me, I think Clara Hughes, as she was coming around that final corner in speed skating with such determination on her face, and to me that is just the essence of what great athletes are. You know, getting a little bit older, final Olympics, but just pushing and pushing with such determination on her face, and achieving another medal. So it was wonderful.
Let's take a big jump into the legislature now. The budget, the government budget, was brought down. What are your first thoughts about the budget?
Well, the budget is going to be it has a large deficit this year, $1.7 billion. I think it is a budget that it means a lot of cuts in my community. I know in education and health, for a lot of social service groups, there's a lot of concerns about what this budget is going to mean. But the other thing, the major piece of the budget, is the HST. And the HST is, you know, this budget has been called, I saw one reporter yesterday called it a gimmick budget. And it's a budget that is based on deception. We had an election last May, and before the election we were told that there would be no HST. The government was specifically asked if they're going to bring in an HST, and they said no. The government was and then they have now done it, and that's going to hurt a lot of people, and I think we'll probably talk a little more about that in a few minutes. In addition, before the election, the Liberals said that there would be no more than a $495 million deficit. And then after the election, we found out that that deficit was about 6 times higher, almost 6 times higher than what they had promised. So it is a budget that was built that has followed an election that I think government really didn't have a mandate to win. And so now here we are with really the more true picture of what the economy was, and a budget. We have now a budget that's going to hurt people in this province.
I'd definitely like to talk about some of the cuts in the HST and also the deception issue, but I was also wondering about the post-Olympic economic recovery. We're in a fragile state. What sort of new ideas and new strategy has the government got in this budget?
Well, I didn't see any. I just heard the old rhetoric of well, we have to cut because we need to cut services. We're going to be cutting from the most vulnerable in many cases. But I didn't hear any new ideas about how to grow the economy and how to move forward in an environmentally sustainable way. I didn't hear anything about plans for how we're going to get impoverished families out of poverty. I didn't hear a child poverty strategy. I really heard not a lot of new ideas, and I heard a pretty tired government, and a government that I think people are just getting tired of.
Oh, let's tackle the HST. They seem to be hedging a lot of bets on the HST as being the fix-all. Let's start with the deception. What did the government, or the BC Liberals at the time, claim during the election period?
Well, the BC Liberals said in writing that there would not be an HST, that they had taken a look at it, and that it was the wrong thing for this province, that it was going to hurt consumers, and that they would lose the ability to exempt some environmentally friendly products and services from taxation. So that's what was said beforehand. And then shortly after the election, within weeks, suddenly there's this big turnaround, and it turns into the most wonderful thing in the world, and economically is supposed to be, good for the province. And so people just aren't buying that. If you look at the timelines, how could government possibly have changed their mind within a matter of weeks, and then come up with a plan, and then negotiated it and finalized a deal within a matter of literally weeks? So absolutely, it was very deceptive, and they're now talking about how it's so good. And if they really believe that, then why didn't they put that to the people, and why didn't they put that forward as a platform item before the election? The reality is it's not good for consumers, it's hard on families, it's hard on small businesses, and they wouldn't have gotten elected, I don't believe, if they had been honest beforehand, and I think they knew that.
So the BC Liberals claim that it's important because it'll help corporations and big business streamline some of their costs. But I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit on who it hurts and who will pay for it ultimately.
Yeah, so essentially, if you just boil it down to what it is, it shifts $1.9 billion a year from big businesses to consumers. That's essentially what it does, because before, when we had the PST and the GST individually, you only had taxes on goods in British Columbia. So now you're going to have taxes on goods and services. So it's services. Well, services are people's jobs. Services are going to put a huge burden on consumers. So things like tourism, things like restaurant meals, services, when you get a contractor to come to your home to fix an appliance, haircuts, so many different services, as well as things like bicycles and so on, things that we were trying to encourage all of us to become more green. Those things that used to be exempt in terms of goods, those things they're no longer exempt. So it's going to hurt consumers, it's going to hurt families. Estimates are that it's going to cost each person in this province as a consumer in the range of over $400 a year per person. That really hurts people. That really hurts, and seems wrong-headed to me at a time when we're trying to stimulate the economy, to whack people in their pocketbooks and make it harder for them to buy things. And restaurant industry is seeing loss of thousands and thousands of jobs, maybe up to 10,000 jobs. Tourism industry as well. Well, why would you be hurting such a vibrant industry, excuse me, as the tourism and restaurant industries at a time when we have this fragile recovery that we were talking about earlier, and we're trying to get this economy back on the heels? We should be back on it, get it running well again. So we should be. This seems like it is a wrong tax. It's a wrong-headed tax, and it was built on deception.